So I've been paying attention to the whole PewDiePie versus T-Series just debate. And the unfortunate part is that he's going to be surpassed. Okay? It's unfortunate, but it's bound to happen. It may not happen within the next year or so, but it's going to happen over time. Eventually, T-Series is going to get more subscribers than PewDiePie, and there's unfortunately nothing we can really do to stop it. It's sad because corporate, and in many ways, the YouTubers who got the company, who got the site running and up and going, are the ones who brought upon its downfall because they basically were able to make it as successful as it is. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You guys helped YouTube survive. But you basically showed corporations that YouTube is profitable. Many of these being big corporations such as the NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL. So did I say it twice? Yeah, I said it twice. The Rock, Will Smith, Marvel, Universal Pictures, Disney. You basically showed them that YouTube is the way to go. And unfortunately, because they are the multi-billion-dollar companies that basically run the world, YouTube is going to start prioritizing them over its creators. And it's unfortunate, but that is the world we live in. Believe me, I don't want it to happen, but it is. There's nothing we can do to prevent that. And now let's go on to freedom of speech. The sad thing is that as time goes on, more and more people are going to become opposed to freedom of speech. These SJWs, as you call them, or these social justice inquisitors, SJIs, is that eventually they are going to gain power. They are going to gain the majority in government, and they're going to push these BS policies that we can't stop, because they're going to be able to put enough people in the office to make sure that these policies aren't opposed. It's unfortunate, but that is the world we live in. And to all you people who say, to all you conservatives who say the real life will hit these guys in the face, will come out and hit these SJWs, SJIs in the face, that's not happening anymore. And it's because you guys seem to think that the traditional real world is going to prove them wrong. It's not. Companies are not embracing that anymore. Okay? The real world, the real world's going to show them that life isn't fair or life isn't kind. That's dead. It's dead. There is no changing that. And the reason why it's going to continue to continue to stay dead is because to all you conservatives out there is that you guys don't evolve. You are so dead set on your traditions and your old-fashioned ways that you are losing in media, you are losing in politics, you are losing in sports, you are losing in education. You guys aren't evolving, and that is why you guys are becoming a dying breed. That is, I'm sorry to say it. Believe me, I am not a Democrat. If anything, I'm a libertarian or a centralist. And I'm all for there being equal representation in government, be it Republicans or Democrats. But the unfortunate part is that you guys aren't evolving. You guys are, if anything, you're refusing to evolve, and that is what's going to be your downfall. Also, the population, the ethical makeup of the population. You have to understand, majority of the minorities who vote in this country don't see the Democratic Party for what it is. And in many ways, the Democratic Party is still the racist party, because if they weren't, they wouldn't be giving out these free handouts, these food stamps. No, they would be helping these minorities that are struggling in these low-end communities They would be helping them rise and improve, but they're not. They're trying to keep them reliant on these food stamps and these government handouts. And that is what keeps the Democrats in power. That is what gives the Democrats their votes. And it's unfortunate. It's part of the world we live in. I also want to get onto the topic of look, I may not be Muslim, but this is my message to any Muslims out there. If you want the American people, if you want majority of the American people, Republicans, Democrats, to be on your side, you guys need to do more than say, "Oh, Islam does not represent us." You guys need to go out there and fight back. You need not Islam, ISIS. You guys need to step up and physically fight ISIS. You need to physically fight to see its annihilation. Believe me, I'm telling you this as someone, if you guys were to take up arms against ISIS, the Islamic State, I can guarantee you, Republicans would gladly help you. Republicans would gladly help step up to help you fight these Islamic State. They would. Because they would see that you're taking a physically active role in destroying ISIS. Okay, because your verbal reassurance that ISIS doesn't represent you isn't enough anymore. Okay? You guys need to take up arms and fight this radical Islamic terrorist group that is giving the rest of you, the silent majority, a bad name, because it's the silent majority that can easily help turn the tables. And I get you're scared, but you need to say, you know what, screw the threat of death. We're going to put an end to ISIS. And if you guys do that, I can guarantee you, majority of Americans will stand behind you and help you eliminate ISIS. We will. We will help you if you guys agree. If you guys start taking a more active role into fighting the Islamic State wherever it is strong, we will help you. Now on to immigration. I'm all for immigration. I'm all for refugees seeking asylum here if they're going to eventually learn our language, assimilate into our society, and help progress it. I'm also for migrants who seek asylum through the legal process. That means going to points of entry at the border, requesting asylum, waiting as long as you need to. What I'm not in support of is people jumping the border, rushing the border, basically saying screw the legal process, we want to get in as quick as possible and do whatever it takes. Because if you are jumping the border, climbing the fence, rushing it, you're showing that you don't give a damn about our laws. If you guys, believe me, if you come here legally, you go to you say you're a migrant coming here from Brazil, or Honduras, or Ecuador, and say you go to a border checkpoint. You ask if you can request for asylum. You're taking the legal steps. You're following the process that we have set up. And I would, as a border enforcement official, or as someone who processes as a border official or someone who processes asylum claims, I would be like, oh, this person followed the law. I approve their request for asylum. But if I find out, oh, you're breaking the law, like you say you jumped the fence, and then you go to request asylum, I'd be like, I don't think if this person doesn't have enough respect to follow the laws of getting in, why should I believe that they're going to follow the laws once they're in? Like someone who just finds an open spot in the border and just runs across. They don't go to seek asylum. They run across and try to become part of the society. I understand they may be facing persecution and violence, but that doesn't give them the right to basically to break the law and basically not follow the process for asylum claims. Yes, it can take a long time, but it's better that you do it legally than try to cross the border illegally and be deported. And to all you people, I'm not gonna say it, but like this woman who basically climbed the fence and gave birth to a child here in the U.S. Yeah, her child technically to some people is considered a citizen, but the mother is not. The mother is not a citizen. And the way I see it is that until the mother can get asylum, her baby needs to be put with a foster family. They can't adopt the kid. The kid is held by a foster family until she's able to make it in here legally. Meaning, yes, she'd be separated from her child, but her child would be with a temporary family that he wouldn't be able to be adopted by any American family here. He would basically be, I guess, how do I say this? He would basically be on hold, in a sense, for his mother. Because I don't believe, yes, she gave birth to the kid, but she unfortunately broke the law to give birth to the kid in the U.S. I also do believe that I wouldn't put it past, like, I know the media will focus, like, when, say, like, this whole theory of migrants using kids and women as human shields. I wouldn't put it past some of them to do that because they know it'll look good in the media. It'll look good because the majority of Americans, this will play on their sense of guilt and just their sense of duty to help these people. And if it's proven that some of these migrants are using human shields, then it's unfortunate that they're trying to play on our sense of our sense of needing to help someone and our sense of guilt to get in. Also, to the migrants saying they either pay them or leave. I'm sorry, that's not how it works. You either go to the legal points of entry and you wait patiently, wait for your asylum claim to be processed, and then come in, or you leave. So I would like to point out, yes, when I look at the families of the 1920s and 1930s that came here, many of them were seeking asylum. But here's the thing, they all did it legally. They didn't jump the border. They didn't cross the border illegally to get in here. They didn't say screw border checkpoints and try to find an opening in our borders to get in. No, they went to a legal point of entry, and that's how they got in. Which is what so many people don't seem to realize. Yes, I'm sure there were some people who got in here illegally, but I guarantee you they were few and far in between. Majority of them went through the legal process, and some of them were turned away and sent back, and some of them were accepted. Which is what I don't think all these people saying, oh, we need to have open borders or no borders at all, seem to understand. We have borders. We need to protect them. We have laws that need to be followed. If you can't, if you can't follow our laws to get into this country, why should we allow you in if you're not, what is to convince us that you're not going to follow the rest of the laws we have set? I'm not trying to be racist. I'm trying to point out that I do believe that certain people have told these migrants, these refugees, these immigrants, that not immigrants, these refugees, these migrants, that they have a God-given right to asylum here. They don't. That is something you have to apply for, and it has to be reviewed and decided whether or not it can be accepted. And they don't seem to realize that. They seem to think that, oh, it's our God-given right to seek asylum in this country. You can, and unfortunately, it's not. You have to request asylum. You cannot just demand to be let in. You have to go through the legal process. And I believe that those who don't, those who just try to get in without going through the legal process, who choose to basically break the law, cross the border illegally, do not deserve to have asylum here. And I'm sorry if you have a wife and say you have a wife and kids that need to be protected, but unfortunately, if you're choosing not to follow the legal process, your wife and kids are going to suffer because of it. Okay? A lot of my coworkers I've had in the jobs I had in the past and the job I have now. Some of them are immigrants, yes. And I asked them, like, what are their thoughts on immigrants and refugees and migrants? And they said they need to come here legally. And I agree with that. To any refugees, migrants at the border wanting to seek asylum, go to the legal point of entry. Go to a border checkpoint. Request to see officials, whoever's in charge, and request asylum. Because if you do that process, if you follow the process step by step, yes, it'll take a while. And some of you may be turned down, but I can guarantee you more of you will be accepted if you do it properly than not doing the process at all. And to all those illegal immigrants here in the U.S., or undocumented, I wouldn't say undocumented aliens, if that's the correct me in the comments if it's wrong, the correct term for illegal aliens, that is it. Correct me if I'm wrong, sorry, I'm getting off track. I believe there needs to be a process where, say, anybody who's here undocumented, never want to register, who didn't go through the proper procedure. This is what I would propose. You have a year and a half to 2 years to apply to become a citizen. And if ICE sees that you are working your ass off, putting in the effort to become an American citizen, they leave you alone. Because they're showing that you want to become a citizen, you want to live here, that you want a better life here. But if it's shown that you aren't even putting in an ounce of effort, and you're basically just not choosing to go through the process of being a U.S. citizen here, ICE has the right to basically deport you because you're showing that you don't want to become a citizen, that you don't care about actually doing it, about this country, and they're allowed to apprehend you. And now let's to all you red-blooded Americans, I'm going to try to explain the situation at the border a bit better for you. To anybody who's thinking, oh, we need to form militia groups and go down there and help them enforce the border, if you do that, you're only hurting your cause of protecting the borders. Okay? You're only hurting your cause. You're not helping. You're not making it better. You're making it worse. I can guarantee you that if you try to go down there armed, you will be stopped by law enforcement. If there are any armed military units down there, you will be stopped by the military. You will be stopped by Border Patrol. They will stop you and they will tell you to turn around or they will arrest you. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe they won't. But it's better to not risk getting arrested than it is to just say screw it and we'll see whatever happens. I also want to debunk the whole net neutrality thing. Okay, for the longest time, I used the internet ever since it was a thing. I was born in 1998. The internet wasn't as refined as it was then, but it was still there. And never once to my family. And we're not really a high income family. We're actually more on the lower end of income. I don't know what our exact numbers are, but I know we're not by any means we're actually more towards the middle to lower class. And we never once had our ISPs throttle our service. We never had them make us pay more for stuff. Yeah, they had it. HBO is always going to cost us, but it's a premium channel. Okay, it's always been like that. I'm not surprised that they'll make you pay for it because it's stuff. It's their services is more premium, if you want to call it. It's a premium channel. Fine, but I don't have a problem with that. And I started getting into YouTube 2010. Actually, it started long before that, like 2008, 2009. And never once did any of my videos, not my videos, and never once did any of the videos that I watched did I get the error that, oh, you need to pay more to see this video. Which is why I don't think, yeah, some companies will try to be sneaky and dishonest, but majority of them will see that, oh, it's not a financially smart decision to make people pay more, because that's just going to piss off the rest of our consumer base. So this is why I personally believe going into the future we'll be fine without net neutrality, we'll be fine without these protections, because these companies see that in order to survive, in order to be productive, they need to make sure that their consumers are happy. And that means not charging them more for stuff that they would normally access. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about for now. I'm sorry if I sounded like I was rambling at times, but they were just things I needed to get off my chest, try to explain it better as a young American who in the workforce who is neither a Democrat or a Republican. I feel like I just need to give my perspective on it and the way I feel things need to be done. And I apologize if I sounded random at times, but it's stuff needed to be said that I felt like needed to be said, and there. I will make a new video whenever. If you disagree with me, feel free to say so in the comments. If you agree with me, say so. If you have differing opinions, say so in the comments. Just be respectful. Don't give me that, oh, you're a faggot, oh, you're a leftist cuck soy boy, because I know how some of you people are on YouTube. But just, let's be respectful, please. Let's have an honest, productive debate on both sides. Because if I can see Republicans and Democrats in the comments having a productive conversation, that's a good thing. If you can do that, that gives me hope for the world. Anyway, I'm Joe McNulty, signing off. I will see you all later.